Why does the moon feel wrong in Pokemon Legends ZA? Wait, did we find it? Oh, there is a moon. That's crazy. So it's still there. There's no instances of it not being a moon. I literally thought there was no moon here in the sky. So I'm just going to start this recording and work with it. What I'm working with right now is I'm actually checking out the moon. I already looked at it a few times and I noticed that it just kind of feels off. The portrayal of the moon, although the moon depiction itself, the picture of the moon and it having phases feels really natural at first. It only works if you don't stare at it too long. And one of the big problems I'm having right now is I've gone 4 nights in a row of having this partial cloud cover. And that may be just to disguise, get rid of these Pokemon so they're not annoying. That may be just to disguise the phases of the moon, but we'll find out. So the first 4 nights now I've looked at this, I've been trying to do this, like film the moon and do some research on the moon, Pokemon Legends ZA. There's been cloud cover. One of the things about the cloud cover in Pokemon Legends ZA, we're just going to say this game from now on, that normally, even on a cloudy night, if you have a partially cloudy night where you can see, you can tell where the moon is. Where this, it feels like maybe the moon is in this part of the sky and like maybe I can track it, except for the clouds are kind of moving too fast for you to be able to really track if the moon is moving across the sky right now. And I know the moon is about at a 45-degree angle from where the player stands. So I don't think that the moon is actually behind the clouds. I think the skybox shows the clouds and gives up on the moon. So let's go to the next night. The whole day's like being able to skip just to the night every time. Like I wonder how much of that it tracks. And I know after I keep doing this, I should probably check the areas around because they're probably going to have a whole bunch of shiny Pokemon except for the Ghastly, which disappear. But here, we have a clearer night. It took us 4 nights, so this is the 5th night, right? And on the 5th night, we can finally see into the sky, except for even with sparse cloud cover, there's no moon. And we can sit here and look. We're going to track it a little bit harder because, it should be, we'll see when the moon comes up because I know that it just kind of rolls this 45-degree angle throughout the night. But even with this light cloud cover, you should see it somewhere. And I know that the moon is, in most cases, not up all night. Sometimes it's up half day and half night, so it doesn't come up till later in the evening. Except for if I sit here long enough, the night cycle, we can kind of eat up some time. The moon doesn't rise, so there's nowhere to rise from. So it's not going to be coming from anywhere unless it just randomly appears in the sky. Even if I look straight up, it's not hiding above my head, it's just not here. It's night 5 is light clouds. No moon. Yeah, we don't see it. So we'll go ahead and we'll bench through the night and get to night 6. And while I'm doing that, I can kind of track my numbers. I think I'm just going to do 30 nights. Check it for 30 nights, the full phase of the moon. 27, 28, 29, 30. And we'll see. So now we go back to night. I think while I'm switching day cycles, I can really easily work through this. I can kind of just read some facts off. So we're gonna look again. We get clouds, but clouds and a moon. And the first moon we see is like a new moon. So it's here, but we just couldn't see it. We're probably not gonna see it at all the night. But obviously it is lighting up this side of the sky again. And we're gonna have to clear the Pokemon again. Yeah, we can see it a little bit through there, and it's just that little sliver. And it does appear that it is still moving, so it still exists, but that's kind of enough information. We don't need to wait. We literally could not see it on night 5, and there was too many clouds to see it on nights 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So one of the other things about the moon is that as soon as we can see it clearly, we'll be able to understand more about it. All right, we're clear again. There we go. We actually have a moon and partially cloudy. So partially cloudy, and it's right about a third, I would say, light cloud. Okay, and we can kind of see some of the features of the moon here. Really, with the light clouds, we can see that it's a full sphere. One of the things I do want to say is that, so the moon in Pokemon Legends ZA, it phases across the center of the moon. So it looks like this, like it's passing by, like a waving hand, or that it's spinning like a top. When the only way the moon is visible like that, I know this is the world of Pokemon and not Earth, but on Earth, the way the moon is visible like that is from the North and South Pole. And because of that, it's lighting up from the right side to the left side. This would be, we're at the, apparently in the world of Pokemon, we're at the North Pole. Except for none of that matters because this moon doesn't elevate at all. It literally just orbits around the top of where we are. So like maybe that would make sense if we're at the North Pole, it would just be going around our heads in a circle. Like, is that what this is? Is this is the top of the planet? We're spinning on the top. So let's go check the next phase of the moon. Rip through the daytime. We'll just skip over that stuff in editing. All right, next night. Night 8 is we're about half. The moon's really bright. All right. So as we're already noticing that it is actually phasing the correct. It's not just random phases. It seems to be phasing. But like I said, that up and down pattern is like a North Pole pattern. But it only works like that is if the sun is lighting it up. So something else must be lighting up the moon. That means in the world of Pokemon, like the moon physics don't really work. And maybe I'll rip through the nights and then I'll like kind of take pictures and see if it's the actual same face of the moon or if it's just random rotations because the moon has a little bit of a wobble. Night 9. Okay, here's the moon again. It does look like the features are kind of staying the same, but I'm not absolutely positive. Like, because we have not had a single clear night yet. If at about night 12, it's full, we're actually on pace for a 30-day cycle. No, because it would have to be like, because we didn't see the new moon until night 5. So it would be like kind of in the night 15 to 17 range. So as we're looking at the features of the moon anyways, they do kind of shift as we go through the phases of the moon a little bit left and right. One of the things about the moon is that it's tidal locked so that we always see the same face of the moon. And you would think that because it's tidal locked, we only see 50% of the moon. But because of that slight wobble, we actually throw out the phase of the moon through like a 30-day phase of the moon and kind of the yearly cycle. We can actually see about almost 60% of the moon's surface from Earth, from sitting on Earth without having to go out and travel around it. And probably can do some research on the dark side of the moon and what people think that means. Like there's like albums and stuff called that, and people have like suspicions about what's on the dark side of the moon, except for the dark side of the moon isn't always dark. When we see the dark side of the moon, the side we don't see is lit up. So, all right, we have another cloudy night. Well, we can see the moon here. All right, let's get over here and take a good look at this. Hopefully these clouds clear up. No viz. There it is. Okay, so it does seem that the same side is facing us. The reason why I wasn't seeing the moon those first few nights is that it probably was a waning moon. Waning meaning that the light side is getting smaller. This is a pretty full moon already on night 10. We say that's about like 3/4. It is odd that the one night we had no moon. I will have to look at that, like how many times a month we actually don't see the moon at night because it's up during the day, and maybe we'll figure out why. All right, so we should be able to see the moon again. It's pretty much always in the same spot, starts in the same spot. We do have rain tonight, so I'm not sure if that affects it at all, but no, we can see it there. So we can kind of just sit here because we know it'll appear here. But we can see that it's a full moon, and it does appear that we'll keep watching. It does appear that it is tidal locked. Like it's the same image. I would really like to have maybe tomorrow night when it's close to full, be able to get a clear shot of it, because that will let us see like the actual face of the moon. If it's the southern hemisphere moon style, the northern hemisphere moon style, or where about it would be, like how it would look, because the features of the moon are different depending on which hemisphere you are on. Here, we should be able to see it here. Should be somewhere in here, unless there we go. Okay, that's starting to move along. So we can see it really good there. Like that's about as clear as we're going to see it. But as you can see, like that dark patch is kind of like on that bottom right corner and then kind of creeps across and goes up. And then there's that light, like kind of wedge, almost like a thumb holding over it on the top part. I'll show some images in post of how the moon looks, the full moon looks from the northern and southern hemisphere. And now we'll move on to the next night. How many nights of a full moon do we get? Full-ish moon. And we get clouds again. And that's like a fuller moon. I just wonder, use the angle of the building to kind of see it. There we go. We found it. Really can only see it a little bit, but it's nice to know that it's there. And we'll see if there's any possibility of us seeing it right here? Because we can see it a little bit. We can see the shape of it, but we've got this clear spot. Is it going to cross over and give us a good view of this? Not really. Oh, no, it's right here. I think this is the best we're going to see of it for this night. But that is like a clear full moon. And, oh, there we go. So we got to see it on this night. And I don't think the clouds are going to clear up at all. So I don't really want to wait around for it. So let's skip to the next night. All right, let's look at tonight. Oh, tonight. Oh, here we go. We get a nice clear night. Just us and this big, beautiful moon. And it's so bright, we might have to wait. Why is it that bright? Is it because it's completely full on this night? So we're going to get about 4 to 5 nights of a fuller moon, and we'll see as if it goes around, because it looks like it might be clearing up a little bit and we can see more of the features as it rolls around, but I'm not positive here. You can obviously see it moving across the night sky, and if I back out and you see it on the horizon, you can see it just moving straight across the horizon, and this is like pretty much the best you're going to see of it in this game. It doesn't get any better than this right here, the full moon, and it just moving straight like it's orbiting us, almost, like it's staring at us. But yeah, this is the best view of the moon we're gonna get. And how does it move? So in picture mode here, the moon doesn't appear to be moving, but that's a crazy mechanic. Now we can move on to the next night, and as we can see now, it's starting to wane. Oh, clouds building up was stupid. Oh my goodness. So now we're gonna have to wait, zoom in to see it, if we can see it. But we can see them. We can already see that the moon's waning. We can see that throughout the nights that we're pretty much seeing the same section of the moon. There we go. We can kind of see through there. But I know if we wait long enough, we'll get a better view. There we go. We can kind of see we're seeing the same pattern on the moon, showing that it's tidally locked. Actually showing the northern or southern hemisphere version, or what hemisphere we would be in. Because if it's showing us the southern hemisphere version, yet waning, or waxing and waning, the phases are going through like it's the northern hemisphere, then the actual degrees of the waning and waxing is the North Pole, would kind of explain why it doesn't look quite right. They did all the work to give it a 30-day cycle, yet they didn't quite make it. They didn't get all the way there, because it's about 7/8 moon there. We're going to get the same, see these, and plus the same clear pattern. I think the cloud pattern is very like static, but yeah, you can see the thumbprint again. Like you obviously can't see my fingers or anything like that. But I'm holding my thumb up to the screen. So let's check the next night. Hopefully we get one of these nights. Oh, Jesus. Skip to the next night. Make sure we're trying. This is actually nice, because I thought this was going to take about 30 minutes. I figured about 15, 20 seconds to switch, 30, 40 seconds talking about it. But I kind of wasted a bunch of time. But that's fine with me. Okay, partial clouds. We're about at 2/3. And we can see some nights the pattern on the moon shows up a lot brighter than other nights. And maybe that has to do with the cloud cover, because it is a 100% clear night. There's not a single cloud. So when it's a clear night, the moon is brighter. So they give it a little bit of a bigger lens flare, like kind of right. They make it brighter, what it looks like right across the middle. So that's a good view. And like I said, it's always starts in the same spot. And I think if we probably tracked it, it probably only goes about halfway around the sky, if not only like a quarter, because that is definitely not enough, a fast enough pace for it to make the full revolution, because it's made it about a 16th of the way across the sky in a quarter of the night. And I think they did that probably on purpose, because if they tried to make it the short night cycle, if it just made this full rotation really quick, it would seem like the moon was screaming across the sky. I do like the lens flare though, because the moon does feel like it hurts your eyes when it's just a super clear moon on a clear night. All right, let's get up to our spot. Ooh, nice cloud coverage tonight. It's about half. It looks like medium cloud. I don't think I have to track the waxing and waning, like what side of the light is on, because it's obvious they're making a full moon cycle, like not a full moon. Oh, it started off medium clouds and then the clouds popped in. Now we lost the moon. So we're going to look down, find our space, and it should be right around here. See, there we go. So we'll see if we can get a good picture of it. And as we talk about it, now as we we kind of understand the moon cycles, we can start working through one of the things that really makes the moon look wrong. All right, so they did a lot of work. They gave it a 30-day cycle. They used a solid picture of the moon. The phases are correct. It looks like around a 30-day cycle. It's not moving too fast. It is tidally locked, but part of the reason the moon in Pokemon Legends ZA looks wrong is really because I was talking about it before. One of the things that you need to understand of why it would look wrong. Are we going to get any clarity? I need a clear night to really talk about this. Makes it look better. These cloudy nights are garbage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've had two fully clear nights so far out of 16. Nothing. This is fully cloudy. 2 nights and another night. We'll see if we can get it. We know where it's going to be. But as we wait for it, I can talk about this right now. Part of the reason the moon is looking wrong is because of the way it is waxing and waning. The way the phases of the moon are going from left to right. Now, they do go from left to right in the northern hemisphere. But one of the things is that about 90% of the Earth's population lives in the northern hemisphere. The degree at which the moon waxes and wanes is about a 45-degree angle for about 30% of us, but it's 30% of that 90%. And then for the others, no, it's about 50%. I have a low population map. Let me check. No, so about half of the people that live in the northern hemisphere live near the equator. And near the equator, it's less than 45 degrees. So it's almost vertical. So the moon looks more like a blinking eye than it does like a spinning top. So as I thought I was going to get some crazy good pictures here, but apparently I'm not. Phases of the moon are wrong, even though the cycle of the moon is right. And if you live in Australia, it looks way wrong because the phases are going the wrong way. If you live in the southern hemisphere, if you're one of those penguins in Antarctica, it's going the way wrong way. Like it doesn't look right at all. Like the up and down, if you live in Antarctica, if the up and down is right. Nobody lives in Antarctica. The up and down is right, but the rotation is off because it's not quite right. Let's get rid of these guys again. Can I do it all in one shot? No. Let's get to the next night. Wait. Oh no, it's way over here. That hole's not going to get there. Yeah, but we can. So it's feeling like it's about a 20-night cycle, to be honest. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's fine. And it's again the cloud, and it's actually raining. Now, France has winter, right? Because in this game, you actually do the day-night cycle a lot. You're not getting full seasons, right? It's not tracking years. Because then it would have to admit you're not aging. There we go. We get a good shot of the moon. Mostly dark, just ever so slightly waning. Can't really see any patterns, and all you're seeing is the light's edge. So that was good enough. But maybe this has a lot to do is like, are the clouds to cover up the weather? Or is it literally cloudy all the time in Paris? Like, I do like the fact that the weather continues. So it's clearing up. The clouds are completely cleared up. This is 100% clear and there's zero moon. So on that last little sliver, we got no moon, zero moon whatsoever. Now, obviously, that could just be either the moon's resetting its cycle and they did that on purpose. Like either the moon is resetting its cycle and they did that on purpose, or did they just use that as an opportunity? Wait, did we find it? Oh, there is a moon. That's crazy. So it's still there. There's no instances of it not being a moon. I literally thought there was no moon here in the sky. You know, and it's hard to tell because some of the stars flicker. Like these ones just flickered behind it, even though they weren't actually behind it. Actually physically behind the moon. That's insane. All right. Let's get to the next night. Learning is learning. What the? Hey, monkey, come here. Never mind. That was crazy. What? Since when? Since when is there rainbows? I've got hundreds of hours in this game and I've never seen a rainbow before. I have 179 hours in this game and I've never seen a rainbow before. Nowhere to go again. That was insane. All right. Next night, we got so distracted. So is it here? Can we find it? Is the moon here and just invisible? Okay. Now I officially think the moon's missing because it should be somewhere over here. Is that it? No. Yeah, it's not here. There is no moon in this night sky. Okay, so night 20, no moon. Another rainbow. Seriously? That's lame. Night 21, what do we think we're going to see tonight? Let's go find oh, more clouds. Is this back to is it just a 20-day cycle and we can't see it? Like, we'll stick here for a little bit. Like, we can't see it like the night before. Like, there's a few nights with no moon, because we did have like a light clouds night with no moon, but we're not seeing anything right now. Like, we even have like a clear spot over here, but that's too low because the moon is about 45 degrees. So after a little bit of a wait, I'm not seeing any moon. The clouds are blocking out too much. I don't think there's a chance we are going to see it. There's just this double layer of clouds. And I don't see anything. But we do know now that the light of the clouds, because it's darker over here and lighter over here. So the light of the clouds is the moon side, even though there's no moon up there right now. Like, it should be almost dark, like pitch dark. It should just be starlight. We're at night 22. Kind of just stare off, and maybe we'll talk about some things, and we'll see what we can get here. All right. Another thing that makes the moon look wrong in this game is that it's always exactly the same size. There we go. We found it. We see it. So it does look like the moon's on about a 20-ish day cycle. That's what it feels like, is that it always appears the same size in this game. And if you have lived long enough to see a few cycles of the moon, you've noticed that some nights and some days the moon appears bigger than other night. Part of the explanation is called lunar libration, where the moon and the earth, as the moon orbits the earth, they kind of wobble together, and the moon actually does get a little bit closer to the earth, and because of the brightness and the reflection and everything, it is closer, but appears closer as well. So it actually appears larger some nights of the year than others. Another thing that does make a moon appear larger is if it's at a certain angle to the horizon, you get a little bit of like light refraction from the reflection of the earth and the reflection of the moon. You get a sort of a magnifying glass effect for a little while the moon is rising or setting, how you perceive it. So it'll make the moon appear way bigger than other nights. But in this game, the moon is always the same exact size. It's the same diameter, never gets bigger, never gets smaller. It disappears like it should, but it really doesn't. Like, the fact that it doesn't change, like it does feel lifeless. Obviously it is lifeless, it's a video game, but it feels lifeless. It does feel like it's just a pendulum kind of making its little third of an arc, quarter of an arc across the sky every night, and that it's not really actually rotating. It's just a different moon. There's just 20 of them taking their turns, or 19 of them. Another cloudy night, and there we go. We're back about to where we were on night 22. We're about to where we were on night 7. So maybe it's like a 15 to 20 day cycle, I would say. But I really think that's enough. Let's kind of see if we can get through a little bit here and get a nice clear night. Yeah, it's just sad that the sunrise is always bright, always crisp, always clear, even when it's cloudy. But the moon is like just hidden. It almost feels like during the day the moon has the same lighting effect from the moon. The clouds have the same lighting effect from the moon, even though the moon's not up. We'll give it this look and we'll talk about it a little bit. Do the thing.